Hey guys! Welcome back to Stocks Around Us with me, Pizza. Today I want to share an interesting fact that I just found out with you. So before, in South Korea, it used to be illegal to cheat on your husbands and wives. You could face up to 2 years of prison if you're caught cheating. Recently though, this law was lifted because South Korea finally decided that they didn't want to interfere with people's personal lives. So technically, it is now legal to cheat on your husbands and wives. Not that you should do it, of course, because it is still completely immoral and utterly unacceptable. But what's interesting here is the fact that you know how every time there's some breaking news or a government policy change, one of the first things to react is the stock market. So guess what? Now that they've legalized adultery, stocks of birth control pills and condom companies have soared as a result. Does that mean more people are cheating on their husbands and wives now? All I can say is that if the law is the only thing preventing you from cheating, you've got real problems in your relationship. The only silver lining I can see here is that at least people are being safe and using condoms. So today, we're going to explore this topic further with the largest condom manufacturer in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Karex. Karex produces 4 billion pieces of condoms per year and supplies condoms to regions across Asia, Africa, America, and Europe. Their main product is, of course, latex condoms. These are made from high-quality natural rubber latex. About 10% of the condoms are sold anywhere in the world, including popular brands like Karex and Eno, belonging to the company. All of their products are electronically tested to provide maximum protection and safety for its customers. In addition, they also make other products, such as lubrication jelly, probe covers, which is the cover on those gynecological and ultrasound devices. Developing further down the medical product line, Karex produces catheters, which is the thin tube for medical uses, particularly related to the urinary bladder, as you can probably imagine without further elaboration. These products are produced from silicone, they're biocompatible, and designed to meet all user and patient requirements. Karex expects to expand its capacity in the future as the condom market is expected to grow bigger with emerging economies such as Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Just last year, Karex acquired 55% of the US-based company Global Protection Corp, or GP, which sells the One brand condoms, giving them exclusive rights to distributing the One brand and other brands in Southeast Asia and many other markets, enhancing themselves as a key global player. Guys, as widespread as condoms are, not every country in the world has completely adopted them. In fact, you'd be surprised that a lot of the teenagers aren't even using them. So there are plenty of market opportunities for the company to tap into. Let's go talk more about this with our very special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. MK Go, the CEO of Karex. What is the condom industry like globally and also in Malaysia?
Well, the condom industry is a huge industry.
Yes.
Globally, this year we're looking at about 28 billion condoms globally. It is a big market that's constantly growing. If you look at where the young generations today, condom is growing in a way that it's just not about population, but it's also the demographic of the population. You see, half the world's population today is below 25 years old. So it is a huge opportunity, and where now people are learning about HIV/AIDS, STIs, people are getting more conscious about their well-being, and hence the use of condoms are actually being promoted by not just commercial but even governmental agencies are today telling people to use more condoms.
And you are one of the largest condom producers in the world. Is that
Manufacturer,
right?
yes.
Manufacturers.
Yeah.
Right. So then what are the countries that you sell to?
Oh, we sell everywhere around the world. Our products are being sold to across over 100 countries. And you know, it's a special product. It's one product that basically feeds every human being everywhere in the world.
So you don't have a main market where you're concentrated?
No, we don't have. We have a few big markets. You know, among them are countries like Brazil, China. You know, in the African region, that's where a lot of condoms are being used.
What is the percentage of usage within these markets?
We don't have statistics of those information, but if you look at globally today, condom usage are probably just about 3.3 condoms per person per year, and that amount is still very small.
Right.
In fact, you know, I was at a UN conference last month in January in Bangkok, and we talk about, you know, datas, and today even you look at Africa, where you have, you know, the biggest HIV/AIDS problem, it's only about, you know, per sexually active man there is only 8 condoms available, and that amount is actually still very low, and we need to grow that amount to get more condoms to the market.
So it's all about creating more awareness.
It is, yes.
So MK, what is this room here? What are they
Well,
doing here?
this is the 100% electronic testing room. So every condom, after you have produced it out from the dipping lines, every individual condoms are tested. So that's where we put the condoms on a mandrel. And basically it's a system that uses the same theory as when we believe that rubber is not conductive to electricity. So basically here, when you put the condom on a mandrel, and if there is a leakage, meaning there's a hole, electricity will pass through and the condoms will be detected as a reject.
Oh, I see.
So basically the condom that has holes will be taken out. So it is a very tedious process. Every condom here is individually tested.
Wow, very impressive. But you don't just produce condoms, right? You have many other things like lubricants or
Yeah.
probe covers.
We do.
What is the percentage that you produce these things?
Well, condom is still the main business for Karex. Over 90% of our revenue comes from condoms. Probably the next biggest contributor for us is Foley catheters. It's about 5% of our revenue comes from Foley catheters. And then the balance of another 4% comes between lubricants and probe covers.
I see. So condom is still the main one.
It is.
So with Karex, where do you rank in terms of market share?
In
Let's say
terms
in the
of
Malaysian market.
in terms of market share, basically we look more on a global perspective. So on a global perspective, in terms of the quantities of condoms we produce, we're probably the biggest producer in the world. We expect our market share somewhere about 15% of globally of whatever condoms are made in the market.
Right. And over the years, how much have your sales increased?
Oh, it has been increasing quite a bit. When we first started the factory, and that was started by my late grandfather, we were only doing about 60 million condoms a year. Today, after 26 years, we have now within the group a capacity to produce 4 billion condoms.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of condoms.
It is.
And you've also recently acquired GP as well, right?
Yes.
How has GP's business benefited and added value to Karex?
You see, Karex has always been known as an OEM manufacturer, and we always believe that it's a day whereby we have to move up the value chain. And the only way to move up the value chain is to look into a brand, because a lot of people have heard about, when they talk about condoms, they don't really hear a lot about Karex, right? Because we have always been people behind the brands. However, I think it's time that we need to look at a different perspective now. We need to look into a brand, and hence a brand, we look into it is not just an organic growth occasion. It doesn't necessarily need to be organic. And in this instance now, we look at an inorganic growth, meaning we acquired a brand, because it takes a very long time to build a brand.
That is true.
Yeah.
So your strategy here on out would be acquiring new brands, or are you just taking it one brand at a time?
We're taking brand at a time. I think we are taking our strategies across the world, looking at different markets. So we have started over in the US because again, that's where good brands are. People always have more trust if the product comes from a US brand. So that's where we did in our first acquisition. We bought over a US brand. They are today the number 4 brand in the US, and it's a great brand.
It is the brand called
One
Condom.
Yeah.
So where would you say is your company's competitive advantage?
Well, the fact that we actually make our own machines. You see how Karex actually came up was we came up as a group of engineers. The founders were engineers, and we built our machines. Even this one here right behind of us is actually all self-fabricated.
Wait, so all the machines in your factory you built?
Most of them are all self-fabricated. And the fact that we make our own machines, we understand the whole process probably much better than anyone in the market. And hence, we came in to do a lot of innovation. And it's through innovation that the company grew. And that's where we grew to the level where we are today.
I see. So you place a lot of emphasis on research and innovation.
Exactly. Yeah.
So here on out, where are you planning to expand, or how will you plan to expand the company further?
In terms of where we're going to grow bigger in terms of quantity, and when we did our IPO last year, we told everyone that we're going to grow from a 3 billion capacity factory to a 6 billion. Everything's been on target. We're now at 4 billion. We're looking at the next growth of 4 to 5 billion. And eventually next year we'll have a full 6 billion capacity. However, that's just growing in terms of volume production. But we're going to grow in value as well. And hence that value proposition growth will be coming from brands. Will be coming from brands.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So growing through brands and expanding capacity.
Exactly. But we always believe in innovation. So innovation will always be an area where we'll be growing because we believe that this is an industry that's constantly changing.
Financial highlights. At the end of 2014, Karex revenue was almost 220 million ringgits, or 2.2 billion baht, growing by 40% in 5 years. Its net profit was around 34 million ringgits, or 340 million baht, a growth of 109%. Its net profit margin was around 15%. Its PE around 2 and PBV at 5. At the end of 2014, Karex's share price was around 3.4 ringgits, or 34 baht. Its market cap was around 1.3 billion ringgits, or 13 billion baht. Guys, that was Karex. Join us again next time for more company highlights with Me Pizza. And as I'm sure all of you watching this show are intelligent and responsible adults, so I don't need to tell you to be safe out there because this is not a safe sex commercial. I'll just see you guys later. Bye!